So Dana White and Eddie Hearn are beefing. Okay, so Eddie Hearn is a promoter up from the UK. Dana White, we all know him, a promoter here in the US. And Dana White recently got into boxing for real this time and signed Eddie Hearn's fighter, Conor Benz, okay, for $15 million off the riff. And Dana claims it's a one fight deal, but the problem is UFC fighters don't like that because they're not they're not getting paid as much as Conor Ben is, and John Jones, not even John Jones is getting paid as much as they offered John Jones less than $50 million allegedly to fight at the White House card, but Conor Benz is making $50 million, but John Jones is a bigger draw. So somewhere along the line, Dana White, I think, challenged Eddie Hearn to a boxing match. I guess Dana White used to do amateur boxing back in the days, and Eddie Hearn, I think, so was a boxer also. So Eddie Hearn accepted that challenge, and then Dana White was like, "Oh, I'm too old to fight this and that." This is like a little junior high school beef going on, right? It's like two grown men, two wealthy grown men. And then Dana White also made a comment that since he got into boxing for real this time, he says it's like beating up babies. He says it's literally like beating up babies, meaning that Eddie Hearn and other boxing promoters can't compare to Dana White. So this is gonna be interesting because I don't know how it's gonna end. Because so then Eddie Hearn went ahead and signed the UFC heavyweight champion. I signed him not to fight, but to manage him, which is a big comeback for Eddie Hearn. So this whole thing sounds like a big soap opera. And the thing about it is like, Dana White is definitely trying to make some changes in boxing, trying to revamp, or I think he revamped, the Ali Act. Basically, he's trying to get the boxing in general as like the UFC, where the UFC controls everything, and the boxing is not like that. So that's something that we have to look out for. But this is exciting times. And I think Dana White is still mad that Francis Ngannou left him as heavyweight champion and made throughout Francis Ngannou, when he left the UFC and went to boxing and fought one time for the PFL, if he made around $40 million. That's way more than he would have made in the UFC by far, by far. And Dana White always says, "Hey, you can't stop about Dana White always says that you should be happy for fighters getting paid wherever, right? Okay, boom. Because when Eddie Hearn was mad that Conor Benz got signed by Dana White said, "Hey, he should be happy that his friend and fighter is getting paid big money." Okay, Dana White, you should be happy that Francis Ngannou is getting paid big money, right? The hypocrisy is ridiculous. So I don't know what this beef is going to end. I don't know if it's going to escalate because now it's going to be interesting now when Tom Aspinall and Eddie Hearn try to negotiate Tom's next fight or next contract. I think he has 2 fights left on the UFC deal. I think. I gotta double check. And at the end of the day, I think Tom Aspinall wants to go into boxing, where he's gonna make a lot more money, a lot more money. So let me know what y'all think. Do you think this beef is just getting started? Do you think it's gonna end? And once upon a time, Dana White and Eddie Hearn were actually friends, or was it friends but cordial? But Dana White is shrewd operator, y'all. Shrewd operator. I tell you.